I saw I had a question earlier. Oh,
I was
Ahmad
saying
Marga
that
asked about LeoAds, and that is going to be snuck in along with Leo AI. So that's going to be right now we're in a current phase with shorts, referrals, the dashboard, and the leaderboard. So we're going to be working on refining those in production. Kind of probably through the rest of this month, and then we're going to be working on Leo AI and Leo Ads. We've already talked about AI pretty extensively, but Taskmaster is going to be doing a Lion's Den this Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern, and he said it was going to be focused on Leo AI. So between now and then, I'm going to drop some screenshots and teasers of Leo AI so that I can give him a little fuel for his fire this Friday. But in terms of Leo ads, I've actually designed an entirely, and I've talked about it a few times in the past, but I've designed an entirely new platform for Leo ads on top of Inleo. So what it is, there's going to be an ads dashboard, an ads manager that looks like, if you're familiar with like Facebook ads or X ads, there's a dashboard for them as an advertiser. And essentially what you can do is you can launch ad campaigns directly from that dashboard. And then it basically walks you through like uploading an image for the ad or a video for the ad if it's a video ad, editing the text for it, and then you set a budget and how many days you want the ad to run for, and then you hit launch campaign, and then it basically goes from there to an approval process. And once the ad is approved, making sure obviously it's not a scam or whatever, the ad needs to get approved. And then once approved, the campaign starts. And then based on the time duration, how many days and your budget, it basically splits up how often your ad gets shown for that ad placement. So that is how our new ad platform is going to work. It's actually completely modeled after these other platforms, and those platforms, by the way, have generated, I mean, between Google, Facebook, and X, I mean, I think it's safe to say, hundreds of billions of dollars in value has been generated from these ad networks that they've built. And we're building a UI that is going to be almost nearly identical to theirs. The reason why, we've chased this and it's something I've talked about for a while is, I've spent countless hours working with companies like Coinzilla and Google AdSense, in the past when we had ad placement from them. They severely underpaid us. Their ads sucked. They visually were not appealing. Their ad codes were not very compatible because our platform is so complex. So they actually slowed down our platform and ultimately made the visuals less appealing. And at the end of the day, they essentially absorb, being the middleman for those networks. They essentially absorb 90% of the value, and then what's left is like we just get like this 10% of the value from the end advertiser. So I really hated working with these ad networks, and that's why I tried literally for years to make it work with them, but we never got to a place where I was actually happy. So I think I forgot, it was maybe 3 to 6 months ago, somewhere in that time frame, I just decided to completely ditch those ad networks, and I decided to wait until we could build our own direct ad sale network. That's what I just described is direct B2B ad sales. So if you run a company in crypto, I think we're going to be kind of one of the best places you could go to run an ad. The pricing is basically going to be based on demand. So I would say being an early, kind of like Google AdSense, and then obviously Facebook ads, X ads, they all went the same route. They did kind of a bidding system. So in the early days, it's actually going to be really cheap to advertise on Inleo because there's obviously going to be no demand from the start. And then as demand builds up, that's actually as the pricing will be dynamic with demand. So I would say if you own a company, like I know, there's a handful of people on Hive that have companies that could advertise, whether it's Splinterlands, our Darkcloaks from Simple Game. There's various businesses on Hive that are kind of naturally, I think, going to gravitate towards this ad platform right when it launches. I think there's going to be a really good arbitrage for them because the ad space will be so cheap off the bat. And then we'll kind of have that as our base. And then from there, we'll obviously be looking to, I'm actually considering, obviously we'll launch it and see how it goes from the beginning, but I'm considering hiring someone onto the team who will literally specifically focus on going out to businesses and, whether they're in the crypto space or otherwise, anyone that has a good fit to our demographics, and trying to sell them on the ad space. I think that could be a huge win for us. I think it's pretty, and I wrote it in the GitLab issue, which I haven't pushed live yet. I think I'll probably push this GitLab issue live by the end of this week, so you guys can see the vision and the design and everything, but behind LeoAds, and give me your feedback. I sincerely believe that the ad revenue we earn from direct B2B sales is going to be more than 10x our all-time high in terms of monthly earnings from the old ad model that we had. I think it's going to be a literal instant 10x. I kind of described the reasons why, but these ad networks were totally screwing us over and essentially disqualifying the majority of our traffic. So this is going to be a much better model for us.